Hi everybody, Toby Milroy here again, Vice President for AMS, and thanks so much for watching this quick video. I wanted to make this quick video for you today to reiterate a couple things that if you've been following my stuff, if you've been a client of ours or mine over the years, you'll probably already know, but just as a quick review and to sort of, get this off my chest. I'm very concerned about how much really bad advice that people give so casually on social media and on Facebook and in discussion forums and things like that. And truthfully, there are some folks contributing to these groups that are really good, right? That are really good at what they do. They run very successful operations, and taking their advice would serve you well. But there are an awful lot of folks who just have not accomplished a level of success or have not established, clear-eyed thinking about strategically growing their martial arts schools, and they're oftentimes the loudest voice in the room. And so I thought I'd share a story with you really quick that might illustrate what I'm describing. The very first martial arts marketing seminar that I went to was in 90 something or another, right? Mid-90s, right? Late 90s. And my partner and I went to this seminar, and it was we felt it was a great experience, right? We were in the room, and there were maybe 40 school operators, all from the same association, but there were about 40 school operators, and I took furious notes, right? Now at the time, my partner and I, we had 3 locations, and they were doing what we thought was great, but just okay, right? They were doing maybe between 12 and 15,000 a month, something like that. On a really good month, maybe 18,000, right? So that's where we were, and we knew we wanted to grow, and we knew we really wanted to be doing much better, and we believed that it was possible, but we just didn't have the tools. We didn't have the strategy, and we didn't have the tools to make that happen. So we went to this seminar, and we thought, great, we're gonna go to this marketing seminar. We're gonna pick up some strategies that are gonna help us, take the schools to the next level. And so we went to this marketing seminar, and again, I thought it was a great experience, right? The entire time I'm taking furious notes, and I've got pages and pages and pages of ideas and notes that we're going to go implement when we get back to the school. And the facilitator was wonderful, a very high-ranking individual in our organization, and was very intelligent and very bright, and we just thought it was a wonderful experience. And then they made a fundamental mistake. At the end of the seminar, so we spent, 7 or 8 hours, I guess. It was a one-day seminar. We spent 7 or 8 hours, again, feeling like we were getting a lot of value, right? Feeling like we were getting a lot of value for our time and money. And at the end of the seminar, they sort of passed the microphone around the room, and everybody sort of described who they were and where their school was, both geographically but also developmentally. How many students they had, what the revenue was like, and what the structure of their school was. And so now again, at the end of the seminar, after we've already spent 7 or 8 hours, and again, recorded some what I thought were really good ideas and really great strategies. So we were sort of sitting in the back right corner of the room, and they started at the front left corner, and the first gentleman grabbed the microphone, and he said, "Hey, this has been great. We really appreciated it. Our school, we have about 40 students, and we're grossing about $3,000 a month, right?" And again, keep in mind, at the time, our locations were in the 140 student range, 130 student range, grossing between 12 and 16, maybe 12 and 18,000 a month, something like that, right? Let's say 16,000 as an average, right? And so the first gentleman, 45 students, and he's grossing 4,000 a month. And then the next group in the next school, sort of grabbed the microphone and talked to us about, how their school was doing, and they had, 65 students, and they were grossing about 5,000 a month. And then the next school had about 100 students and was grossing about $8,000 a month. And then the next school had about 110 students and were grossing about $10,000 a month. The next had about 50 students and grossing $4,000 or $5,000 a month, right? And so on and so on and so on. And so what occurred to me, and I think this is an important lesson for everybody, to really think about. What occurred to me was, so anyway, everybody in the room was, their schools weren't grossing as much as ours were, and they had less students than we did. And they were oftentimes very proud of, having 50 students or 60 students. And they should be, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not, sort of poking fun at school operators who have 50 students. But what I'm saying is that in our position at, 140, 150 students, maybe 120 students, grossing, $14,000, $15,000 a month, we just spent our entire day, our entire 7 or 8 hours, learning what people that only had 40 students were doing, learning what people who were only grossing, $4,000 or $5,000 or $8,000 a month were doing. And that's dangerous, right? Oftentimes, the strategies that get you to $10,000 a month or $12,000 a month or 100 students are the same strategies that keep you from getting to 30, 40, 50, 70,000 a month. Does that make sense? See, there are often contradictory parts of our strategy. For example, the way we market our schools, right? The messages that we use in our marketing, the types of offers that we use depending on the size of the school, things like that. So these things are different. These things change, right? And you want to make sure that you are, taking advice from folks that have proven that they can do what they say they can do, right? And I think one of the dangers of the social blogosphere is everybody has a voice. And it's also one of the great things about it, right? Everybody has a voice, everybody can contribute, everybody can share. But I think you have to have a really good filter. And you have to actively filter, noise from what's valid. And that's a very difficult thing to do. So anyway, I think Tommy Hopkins has a quote, never take advice from somebody more screwed up than you are, right? And I think this is something important in our industry. And again, I'm absolutely in no way diminishing anyone's input and in no way diminishing anyone's value, the value that they can add to a discussion. But what I'm saying is we have to be conscious. We have to be very careful about what you let into your mind, what you let into your head. Your beliefs form your reality, right? They influence your behaviors influence your habits create your reality. And so you want to be very careful that you're surrounding yourself with people who are doing better than you are, people who have already established and accomplished the things that you want to accomplish in your industry, in your business, right? And there are an awful lot of folks in our niche who have 25 students and have always had to work a second job and have really never made martial arts their fundamental career, but now all of a sudden think that they should be giving you advice, telling you how bad you should feel about having 100 students, right? And that just doesn't make any sense to me. So anyway, take that for what you think it's worth. Please, in my view, be very careful about what you let into your mind, who you allow to influence your thinking, and choose those people wisely. Choose those strategic advisors very wisely, because you're creating much more than just an idea. You're creating part of your next reality. So I hope that that's useful for you, and I look forward to speaking to you next time. Thanks so much.